Hello, class. For language arts today, there's three things I'd like us to do. First, I'd like us to look a little bit with our writing. I like to use this little chalkboard sometimes to illustrate some letters. So we'll go over that for just a minute. Then we'll go on to look at some vocabulary words that could show up in your reading book as you read some wonderful stories. And after that, we'll dive into our language book and talk about some troublesome verbs. There's one today, a couple that may be a little more challenging. So we'll be illustrating some of that too. So that's what we'll be doing today, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I'd like us to look at is letter V with our handwriting. See that dot? We should start right there, and a lot of letters begin that way, as I've already said. And what we call a teardrop letter or raindrop letter. And then it goes down as I'm tracing, goes up and curves around. If you ever have spots in your book, if you ever want to go back in your book and look at the letters, tracing is so important to good writing. You know, the master artists that learned how to draw, they started out tracing. Tracing is not cheating. Tracing is you've done it enough so that it's in. So anyway, where was I? As you trace your letter in this teardrop letter, many letters are done that way. And don't be afraid to trace. A lot of artists did that too. I'm not sure if you heard. I'm not sure if we got cut off in our video, so I may repeat a couple things for you, but it won't hurt to repeat it. Just go over the letters. Artists learn how to draw that way. And in a sense, writing is like drawing, really. We're drawing a letter. And so until that gets into your memory, it's called your, like a visual, mental memory, and also tactual memory, which means touching, your memory, how you're touching something in a certain way and making the V. So we're going to go here, and then we go here, right? And again, there's your teardrop letter. Notice which way we went, then come down, and then come up, and then it curves a little bit. Do a row of those. Here's the little one. Lowercase v, notice the hook. Now let's connect it with the word and do a row of that, okay? We could do victory with a capital V. Notice how we do it when it's a capital. O, R, Y. Cross your T and dot your I. All right. Now, what if we did victory with the lowercase v? Notice how we do our I. Then it comes down and it would touch the line, even though I don't have a line here. C, T, O, R, Y. Something like that. Cross your T, dot your I. Notice how we connect, and then we bring our I down to, you know, it would be touching the line there, wherever our line was. I don't have a line there. It's a little bit tricky for me without a line, but you can do it. And that's how you do that. So practice those. Then, if you look up here, you see this? I've got some numbers here today. I've noticed that there are some of us that aren't making our numbers correctly. Look at how I'm tracing these numbers. That's how your numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 is one I've noticed. Go like this, like an L. Lift it up, go down. Take the time to make it look like a 4, or it's wrong on a arithmetic. Look at 5. Down, around, and then put a little cap on his head. That's how you do 5, 6. One continuous motion. Look at 7. See that? Okay. 8 and 9. Here's number 10. Down, and then we get to do our 0. We go around this way. Okay. So I just wanted to show you a few things in our, there we go, in our penmanship. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and do a little bit in our other language arts. So if you'll take a look right here, here's some new vocabulary words that you may write and learn. Again, I know we've cut out this part of the curriculum. However, I do think it's good to learn the words where you're going to be reading about them. And again, you will have quizzes like this in 5th grade. You see how there's a few more now? Acknowledge, to admit, to be true, to confess. Acknowledge. I acknowledge that to be true, right? I acknowledged my wrongdoing. I admitted it. Conceited, prideful, vain. If you're conceited, you're full of pride, puffed up. Custodian, a janitor. The custodian mopped the floor. Emerged, to come into view. Ooh, after quite a while in the chrysalis, the butterfly finally emerged, right? Grimy, smudged all over with dirt. Grimy. Grimy hands need to be cleaned. Scarcely, almost, did not, barely. You barely did it. I scarcely made it. I barely made it. Surge, to rush forward. The army, the battlemen in the army, they surged, rushed forward. Survey, or survey, to inspect carefully. To survey, I think of that song, when I survey the wondrous scrolls. I'm inspecting, I'm looking. I survey the landscape. I'm looking, I'm inspecting carefully. I'm looking all around. And those are some of the words there. Then you'll go on and you'll read in your reading book, Winner, Take a Mule, and read the story. A real good story about a mule. And you'll go all the way and you'll come to the end of the story and then you'll come to another story. Ooh, what's going on there? Okay. And then you go, Our Heroes, which is a poem. And then look, The Middle Bear. Read all the way. You'll just read, you'll start that one to page 190, because that would be a lot to read, unless you wanted to read the whole story, but you'll stop and then we'll finish it the next time. So read to page 190 in your book. What does it mean to be a middle bear? I think I'm a middle bear. Are you a middle bear? What does that mean? And we'll talk about that, that for the next time. All right? Okay, so you do that. I think now we're going to get our language book and hop right into the language lessons and make sure you have that. All right, for language time today, can you see? All right, I've got something here I want you to look at. The first one is, there are 2 words here we need to be acquainted with. One is the word lie and one is the word lay. Now, lie means what? Rest or recline, doesn't it? Whereas lay means to put or place something. All right, let's first look at this word lie. Can you see that very clearly? Lie, lying, lay, have lain. Lie means to rest, all right, or recline, like to lie down and go to sleep. Lying is the participle form with the ing on it. Notice how the word changes how you spell it, changing it to a Y there. Okay? Lay is the past tense. This is the part that really can cause confusion because the past tense of lie is the present tense of lay. You see, that could cause some confusion. They're the same word, but they mean something different. That can be a challenge, but I know you can do it, okay? So then have lain. We use lain, L-A-I-N, have lain. We use that one with the word have or has. We use it in a sentence that has have or has. Only use lain if you're using a have or has with that tense of the word. So lie, I lie down every night. Lying, I was lying in bed one night when I had this thought. Lay, yesterday I lay down to sleep. Yesterday I lay down to sleep. I did it in the past. I have lain there before. I have lain under that tree before. I have lain. Now right now you're thinking, Mr. Doyle, that seems a little odd, doesn't it? It does. You know why? That's how misused this word is. We often misuse this word. Look. And it's because we're confusing it with this one. Lay, to put or place something. I lay the paper on the table often. Right? Laying, I am laying my homework on my desk. Okay? Laid. I know I laid it there somewhere. You did it in the past, right? I have laid it there many times before. I have laid it there, right? I've laid it there. So that's why there can be confusion. There can be confusion, especially with the word lay part of it. Now, you would not say to your dog, lay down. No, you would say lie down. The only time you would say, my dog lay there last night. My dog lay there last night. Did it in the past, right? So you have to really think about it. You really have to make an effort to think about it, or it can be somewhat of a challenge. Now, I've got something for you that I think will help, or at least make it a little bit more fun. I'm going to show you a few pictures and just to spell. If you'll just look at this picture I've got for you. Just wait, and I want to show you a picture in just a moment. So here we have lie, lying, lay, have lain. See? And look, here's the picture I was telling you about. Look at this fella here. Doesn't he look silly? He likes to lie down to sleep every night, doesn't he? He's lying there in his bed. Little toes sticking out under his covers. He's lying there to go to sleep. He lay there a long time. That's in the past. He lay there in his bed a long time. He has lain there, or I have lain there. You could say has or have lain. He has lain there a long time, depending on if it's singular or plural. He has lain there a long time. See? laying. On the other hand, he might have the word lay. Lay, laying, laid, have laid. Now let's look here. Here's our rabbit friend. And our rabbit friend, the word lay essentially means set. The word's very close, even though not exact. It's close. So our boomer bunny here, right, can lay the homework on the table, or he's going to set the cup on the table, which is very similar to lay. Lay, laying, he is laying his homework on the little table there. He laid it there in the past. Yesterday he laid it on the table. Have laid. They have laid it there many times before, or he has laid it there. Notice laid for lay. Not to be confused with have lain down. So if you're putting and placing it, it's lay or laid, right? But if you're resting or recline, you're lying, lay or laying. The past tense is the part that gets the one that is confusing. Now, about now, you're probably, maybe you're tired. Let me show you something here. Here is a dragon. He looks very tired. Guess what? He's lying down. Now that kind of looks like how all of us feel about now. Students, hey parents, if you're watching, is this how you feel about now? Oh, teachers too. We're feeling very tired about now with all of this, but we're doing the best we can, right? That's what God expects, your very best. So we're trying. And he's saying, "Ooh, you look a little sleepy. What is your name?" And this was a story. Did we read this story? I'd like to read the story in story time sometime, but this dragon is lying down. This dragon has lain there a long time. So lie, lying, lay. The dragon lay there all night. In the past, we use lay, see? He has lain there many times before. And so hopefully you understand how all of this works, okay? As I hold this book in my lap here. Now let's look in our book. We're looking on page 239. And you will see using lie and lay correctly. The verb lie means to rest or recline. In other forms, lie, lying, lay, have lain. We went over that. I will lie on the couch. Mom is lying down for a few moments. Matt lay under a tree. It's in the past, so you use lay. Have you lain here all afternoon? The verb, okay, so that's lie, see? Lying down, you see the bird in the nest, lying down. The verb lay means to put or place something. Its other forms are lay, lain, laid, have laid. Lay those books on the table, please. Aaron is laying his wet mittens on the clothes rack. I laid the packages on the bed. Dad has laid that information by the telephone. After using a form of the verb lay, you always need to name the object you are placing. You never lie something, but you always lay something down. So that's one way to remember it. There's an object with lay, like we did with our rabbit friend. Remember that? Our rabbit friend had a cup. See if I can find it. Whoops. Had a cup or homework. So here's the object. He laid the homework down, right? Where he sets a cup down or lay it down. So packages, laid the information, okay? So there's a something with the lay. Lay a book, but you lie down. All right. The objects which are being put or placed in the above sentences are in dark print. Which two verbs that you have studied so far have the same definition? Well, I think I already told you. What is the answer? To put or place something. So anyway, you need to do that. You can look at these here. Look, lie and lay are two forms which are frequently used incorrectly, especially since both verbs form the same form, lay. Try memorizing these sentences that correctly use the forms of lie and lay. Then if you become confused about whether to use lie or lay, you can quickly refer to a sentence which you know is right. So if you memorize a few sentences, you will know which one's right when you get to a confusing sentence by going back to one of these. Now he lies on the couch. Now he is lying on the couch. Yesterday he lay on the couch. Often he has lain on the couch. That's all the uses of lie. Now I lay my pencil down, or now I am laying my pencil down. Yesterday I laid my pencil down. Often I have laid my pencil down. So if you can memorize with couch or pencil, use couch for lie and use the pencil for lay, and memorize these 6 sentences, 3 for each one, 3 or 4 for each one, then that can be a trick to help you. When I say trick, that can be a remedy for a problem you might be having with it. I'm not sure which one. Go back and go to your list you memorized of sentences, and then you can pick the one from your head that is correct if you'll put that to memory, and you'll be able to do it. Again, now think about this. Have you ever had your mom or dad who, you fell asleep on the couch and they picked you up and they put you in bed? Then they lay you, right? They laid you down to rest. They laid you down to sleep, but you lie down. So you could lay a baby in a cradle because someone's picking them up and placing them, but you lie down if you did it on your own. So that's another thing that sometimes, me might want to think about with that one too, if you like that. Another one you might come across is a chicken, and I don't want to confuse you, but they have what's called setters, where they lay an egg, don't they? So that may be something for another discussion later on that one, but unusual use of that word. All right, I'm going to let you loose now to do your paper. I hope this has been a help to you. And let me see. I guess you take care. And until next time, you be looking, guess what? For the next video. Bye for now.